Coming right up is DC News number 136. We're going to talk about, the Justice League of America has a backup feature with the Martian Manhunter. We're going to tell you all about that. Also, Stormwatch has got a brand new creator, which if you've been around for a while, you know exactly who he is and why he's going to be a real interesting choice with that book. Also, we're going to talk about Charles Soule on the Swamp Thing and some of his upcoming story arcs, which will be little tiny ones. And we're going to wrap it all up with the new Superman Batman book. All that and more coming right up. Here at Alternate Reality, all new comics are 15% off every day for everybody. That's right, all my new comics are always 15% off every day for everyone. All you got to do is stop in here and pick it up anytime during the 7 days that book is new. So be sure to stop off here at Alternate Reality and pick up this week's new comics for 15% off all the time, only at Alternate Reality.
Want to know what's new in Marvel Comics? Today's your lucky day, because these two Marvelettes are going to spell. It's Comic Book Man and Bow Time.
Bo lathers and rinses, but he never repeats, unless he had chili for lunch. DC Comic Book News, episode 136, Insanity Spree.
Hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. Bo?
Yes? It's DC News time, kid.
It is? Again?
How many of these have you done?
Haven't you looked at the calendar?
DC News, and it's coming to you from this place, Alternate Reality, located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood.
There's nothing beautiful about downtown Mount Greenwood.
It is so beautiful out there. The cigarette butts are starting to show up in the snow. It's about that. They've melted just enough to see
The
cigarettes.
mayor's out there openly weeping.
Alternate Reality, all my new comics, including all my DC comics, are always 15% off every day for everyone. Bo!
Yes?
New Justice League of America series is out.
Yes,
the flag.
It's number one ship.
The
Flag.
The
52
flag.
different covers.
50, actually 54 covers.
54. District
covers.
of Columbia got a cover, and also
Guam,
Puerto Rico.
DC, Puerto Rico, U.S. flag, and the 50 different states. 54 covers all together.
But
Anyway. In this new series, there's going to be a backup feature. Not just your main story, but a backup story. And the backup story is going to feature
Manhunter, the Martian Manhunter.
the Martian Man.
It'll be written by Matt Kent, who did Frankenstein Agent of Shade before it got canceled, and Jeff Johns started with issue number 2 because issue number 1 was a little loaded. The co-feature will focus on the Martian Manhunter, and the stories involved will be connected to the main feature. And in our other segment, we told you about the fact that the death of artist Scott Clark.
Yes.
Scott Clark is drawing those Manhunter backups. I don't know how many he got under his belt before he passed away, but he'll be drawing at least the first 3, 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. Depends on how far ahead he got on the thing.
So his work will be showing up in the next couple issues.
His work will be showing up
of Justice League.
I think when he probably has about 4 or 5 of these done. They're only 8-page backup stories. They take less time to work on.
Well, does the illness stop you from drawing, or did he draw?
No, he was drawing. He was drawing while Grifter was being published. He was drawing. He was plugging it in. He was sick as hell, but he kept turning his pages in.
Yeah.
Props, man.
Sounds like Turner over at Aspen.
Yeah.
Turner was drawn right up until just before he died.
Until he died.
Okay. Meanwhile, Stormwatch. Stormwatch is going to get a big creative change by someone that, if you're a longtime comic book fan, you know very well.
Jim Starlin's Captain Jim Starlin. The guy
Starlin.
who invented Thanos.
Thanos. Yes.
Well, he came up with Thanos. He's going to be taking.
He also invented Mongul over at DC.
That's pretty sad.
You know,
I got no problem with Mongul.
no, what's his name?
In
did
War
an excellent
World.
Story.
War World.
Yes, War World. But he's taking over Stormwatch with issue 19. He's going to put the team through his paces. He's also going to change the roster. Now, we will see Apollo and Midnighter in their old Authority costumes. But Starlin says, look, I'm not redoing Authority. They're just going to be wearing the same old costumes. And the new team members will involve the Weird, not the Bernie Wrightson and Jim Starlin creation, but a variation of the theme of the bizarre, weird-ass looking superhero that Starlin created for DC way back when.
Right.
Jenny Soul, the new version of Jenny Quantum. Storm Control, who apparently is the person running the team. And that person is someone we've seen in the Wildstorm universe before, which we're going to find out later on. The Forecaster, and a new version of Hellstrike.
Is Starlin writing and drawing, or just writing?
Starlin is writing it. He's not drawing it, and he's already got the first 12 issues of this thing laid out. He is doing covers. I think Ville Goucher is drawing it, and so the artwork's going to be pretty decent. But he's doing the covers, and he's telling fans, you see in the covers, you're assuming what's inside the pages. Don't. What you see on the covers is just what's on the covers. These are basically meant to draw you into the story. Do not assume that what's going on in the covers is going to tell you where I'm going with this thing. This says you're never going to figure out where I'm going.
Starlin did the covers on Warlock, right?
Starlin did the covers on Warlock. Starlin did the covers on a lot of stuff.
Starlin's last work, as I think, was the Rann-Thanagar War over at DC.
Yeah.
But he did a lot of cosmic stuff at DC before that, pre-New 52. Rann-Thanagar, Strange Adventures, Mystery in Space, I want to say.
Yeah, he worked on Mystery in Space. Over at Marvel, he worked at Vance Dreadstar. He did a lot of stuff involving Captain Marvel. Starlin is a guy who's been around since the late 70s,
Well, Starlin's
early 80s. He's been around for a long
He's best known for doing cosmic stuff, and at DC a long time ago, as I mentioned at the top. He also created War World. He did some Superman stuff. DC Comics Presents, when it was a Superman team-up book. It was 26, 27, 28, somewhere around there. It was the first time War World and Mongul were introduced. He's the guy that introduced them. Was big cosmic story for Superman back in the pre-Crisis Superman, which I always thought was quite good.
Good
those issues
pen.
he
Good pen.
Yeah, pretty good.
Moving on, Swamp Thing. Charlie Soule.
Charles Soule.
Charles Soule.
Say, as in Soul, with an E on the end.
He's taken over the book, and what's he going to be doing on it? Short stories?
He's going to do short arcs, nothing longer than 2 or 3 issues. But he says there's a
For those of you
larger-
coming off a Rot World.
Yeah, there's going to be a larger story developing in the background, but initially he's just going to show up with he'll tell a horror story 1 issue, he'll tell a science fiction based story 1 issue. His initial stories, he said, they're going to basically tell you what it's like to be Alex Holland, who used to be a human being and now he's a big freaking walking swamp. It's going to be a hard adjustment point. Yes. And he's also going to do something really interesting. He's going to place him in multiple environments. So he's going to send Swamp Thing to the Arctic. He's just a Swamp Thing underwater. He's going to basically just go all over the place and just have him anywhere and go
to the desert.
He's going to go to the desert, and you're going to go, how would Swamp Thing live in the desert? Well, we'll find out, won't we?
The only place he couldn't survive is your basement.
He could survive in my basement.
He's going to go to Detroit.
Cool. He's going to go to Detroit.
He's going to go to Detroit.
He likes Chryslers.
Yeah, okay. And our last story involves World's Finest has Power Girl and the Huntress in it, but it is not Superman Batman. In the New 52, there is no Superman Batman book, no World's Finest team up, nothing with the world's greatest 2 superheroes together. There's no book until now.
Marvel's Greg Pak, first time he's ever worked for DC. Jay Lee, who's coming off of Before Watchmen. Is that thing over yet, by the way? Because it should have been done by now.
No, it's just about. We're on the last issue on, I think, 2 of those series, and then we're done.
Oh, my God. But they're going to be teaming up in a new ongoing Superman Batman series. Their first arc will show how the first meeting between the two. And because it's Jay Lee, we assume he's going to do the first arc, and someone's going to come in and do the arc after that because Jay Lee cannot, within his life, do a monthly book.
But he's a very pretty artist.
He's a very pretty artist, and you see the art looks well. He said he's made to draw people like Batman. Superman stuff looks pretty good. The art that I've seen so far online is pretty nice, but yeah, there's no way in hell he's going to do past the first 6 issues without him bringing somebody in to fill in because DC's New 52 books, aside from Before Watchmen, have to actually ship on time.
Okay. And that's it. We're done with Finished Right Away. We got no more news for DC Comics, but go to the store's website, check out all the news that Bo sends me that I post up there. Bo?
Yes?
Tell them where.
Sarah, let the fine folks know where to go.
www.morealternatereality.com. It's #1 with computer illiterates.
So stop off the store's website, check out all his news. Till next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And this is Bo.
Saying, bye.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.